Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and this is going to be my review for High School of the Dead Episode 8. After this we get 4 more episodes left to upload, and then I'm completely done with the show. As far as I know, because I highly doubt we're getting a Season 2 anytime soon from what I've heard. Well, apparently I was expecting them to have to go through the bridge and deal with the police. Oh no, they bypassed that and went straight through the water. Apparently that Humvee is like a paddle boat. It's waterproof to where they can ride through the river without any problems. I'm like, what the freak? Because the only things I can think of that would be water ready, or whatever the word would be, but is what they end up finding in either the next episode or the episode after. I don't remember which. I think it's the next episode that they can use to ride on the water. So yeah, that caught me completely off guard, and they end up changing their clothes into what looks like their school uniforms, at the very least, somehow. And obviously Code is having the time of his life, shooting his guns, and they end up not finding any zombies for at least a good bit before they end up running into them. And they end up running into a freaking fence. Some kind of barbed wire fence. And Ray ends up getting thrown off of it when they try to stop, and ends up hurting her back somehow. I don't know what happened, but she's hurt, essentially. And they're now surrounded by zombies on one side, and the fence on the other side. So they can't really climb the fence, or else they want to get cut up, essentially. And yeah. And in this episode that we have the infamous, what would it be? The infamous boob shot, where, Takashi ends up grabbing Ray's gun and using her as a balancing thing to shoot from, which means every time it gets recoil, it hurts her even more. And when he shoots some of the bullets, what was her name? Sakura? I think that's what her name was. Whatever her name was, the one with the sword, ends up somehow defying the laws of physics, even by anime standards, to dodge the bullets. Like, her boobs just go up, down, and then the bullet goes past the other one going up, down. It's just, how is that even physically possible? It just makes no sense. Like I said, by anime standards. And it sadly gets to the point where they're in a position where they think they could possibly lose. And Coda shows this by wanting to get Alice and Zero, the dog, over the fence so they can escape. Because he thinks essentially they're not going to be able to. And Alice realizes this right away and essentially doesn't want them to leave, because if she leaves, she's going to be left all alone again, and she doesn't want that. So she'd rather essentially die with them if she has to. And thankfully, they are saved at the very last moment by, I don't know what you would call them, a bunch of people with guns, essentially. And they get on the other side of the fence, except for Takashi and Sakura, because they're at another position where they can't really get to it. So they have to take another way to get to where the others will end up, and we find out that the person who saved them is Takagi's mother. Which, for a moment, I thought that the woman with the sniper rifle in a previous episode, the one at the airport, was her mother, but no, that's a different person. So we finally get to see her mother, and they essentially have to meet up over at Takagi's house, which is a freaking mansion, for Christ's sake. They have to take another way to get there because, well, the way to the others right now is kind of blocked by zombies, so they have to take another way. So everybody else is going to be over at her house, while those two have to try and find a way to get there. without obviously getting bitten, because they both know that getting bit is a death sentence. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the reaction, and I will see everybody next time.